Okay, YouTube's new money-stealing TOS. Here we go.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely Friday morning. Today I'm sitting here
I
with
have a
Clinton the cat,
feeling
and we're going to be discussing
that's
something
not
that
going to
made
be the
Clinton the
case
cat
for very
very angry
long.
today. So I logged into my
I can see
YouTube
he's
account
angry.
and
Look
I
at the
saw a banner
claws.
on the top of the screen. It said, "Action required, accept new terms to stay in the YouTube Partner Program and to start earning Shorts ad revenue." Now I don't really care about Shorts ad revenue because I don't do Shorts because it's just not a video content form that I'm good at. But the Partner
His gray hair. He's too old for it. I can relate.
Program is what allows you to put ads in your videos, which allows you to get money from YouTube, which is nice because Mr. Clinton likes $3 per can cat food, and we have to spoil the Clinton. So I went to click this link and actually do something crazy, which many people don't do when it comes to legal agreements, which is read it. And it is honestly isn't that long,
Hit.
and it really doesn't take much time to get to the part that, in
What?
my opinion, is a massive screw job. So if you just search through this agreement, you will see this one section called non-qualifying revenues.
Okay.
It says over here, and I'll zoom in to make it easier to view on the screen, YouTube may either 1. Withhold or adjust any partner earnings associated with a breach of the terms, including the YouTube channel monetization policies, or 2. Charge back or offset such amounts against future partner earnings payable to you. YouTube will notify you if any of these circumstances occur and provide details on about how you can appeal in accordance with these policies.
Okay.
Now, the main problem that virtually everybody has spoken about on YouTube at some point in time, whether it is a creator with 1,000 subscribers or a creator as large as PewDiePie, is that it is virtually impossible to actually get through to somebody at YouTube.
I'm not immediately going to get out the pitchfork, and the reason why is that I think this could make sense in a lot of cases. So I actually went through a lot of like the Google AdWords program, learning about how it worked. This is like quite a while ago. And there are a lot of people that try to game this program by effectively programming other bots to count as views on websites or to effectively buy view bots that are monetized views to make a video make more money. So it's like, in terms of fraud, I think this would be reasonable. If YouTube determines that your channel has fraud, I think this is reasonable. However, let's find out what these policies are
And speak to them if something like some sort of error occurs and you violate one of their policies. One of the best
What are the
examples that I
policies?
have on my channel of this happening to me is this video I did of an angry Clinton. So
Okay.
my cat's name is Mr. Clinton, and he was meowing for about
I
1
can
or
see
2
what the
minutes
problem is
very angrily. So I
immediately.
decided to record it because when Clinton meows, it's kind of funny.
Yes.
And he got flagged. It says, "We are removing this video because it violates our community guidelines. You'll be able to view the video for 7 days. When it was removed, this period allows you to review the content to decide whether you wish to submit an appeal." I had problems having the video reinstated until I did the video on the content strike that I got for, I'm not kidding, harmful and dangerous content. This video is literally a cat. It was an adorable little cat. And the cat is just sitting there on the counter and he's meowing. Look at him. He's just sitting there, and he's going
Shouldn't have
rant.
let that motherfucker be up on the counter. You got to get him off the counter. He's gonna get there, get all the food dirty with his hair and shit.
Ram.
Don't let that motherfucker get on the counter.
Now, it's one thing if YouTube makes a mistake and one of your videos disappears. At some point, any content creator with thousands of videos is going to say mea culpa, whatever it is what it is. They're going to curse, but they realize that there's no other platform on the internet that is going to allow them the reach, the monetization that YouTube does. So they just kind of suck it up and deal with it. But I think something that's going to cause a lot of people to start saying, no, screw this, is the ability for YouTube or Alphabet to literally reach into your bank account and take back money that they gave you based on a robot striking your cat for hate speech because he was meowing. And that is what you have the potential for here. If I am reading this contract right, and if I'm reading this contract wrong and you're an attorney, please do let me know. This is a serious, serious issue. Now, again, they say even if you do something with your bank account, like let's say, I don't know, set it up so that there's no money in it, no overdraft protection. So if Google tries to go in and take money out, there's nothing there. This is still an issue if your channel is creating revenue right now and they decide to go back and take back revenue from a few years ago. The obvious problem here is that even if you set up your bank account without overdraft protection and you immediately transfer money out,
I want to know what the instances in which they will exercise this policy are. Because we can all sit around and catastrophize about how bad something like this could be, but where are the instances where this could happen? Because, like, for example, with the Clinton video, it got striked. They didn't take the money back from it. So what happened?
But the moment YouTube deposits money into it is they can take away from future revenues. So the money that you would make on YouTube last month is not given to you
When
until...
they want. No, and that's fine. Like, if and I'm fully willing to, if YouTube starts exercising this policy in a liberal way, then of course, let's get out the pitchforks. But is this happening? How, like, what are the instances of this being applied? Like, what is their intent with this rule? I want to see it. Does that make sense?
This month, which would mean that, let's say you're supposed to get, I don't know, $1,000 deposited in your bank account this month. And
it's more for like Alex Jones, Sandy Hook type things. I think that if you show an ad and people see the ad, you should get paid for the ad. Period. Because that's the contract that you enter into in good faith with YouTube. The ad is not being displayed contextually around whether the content is, is approved by YouTube, I guess. Because YouTube pre-approves all of it. So if YouTube is pre-approving everything for advertising, and also actually that's not even true, because there are a lot of like kind of filters that it goes through in order for it to be monetized. If you have monetized content on YouTube, you should make money from that content. YouTube should never take that money away. But there is a circumstance where they should. And the circumstance where they should is if you are committing fraud. If you are paying bots to click ads, YouTube actually has a very strong policy of different, not letting people effectively click their own ads, like spam click their own ads to make themselves more money. I don't know if you guys know about this. It doesn't really matter. But like advertisements that are, instead of just impression, an impression is like you see this, and they are actually CTR, click-through rate. CTR advertisements have a higher return per interaction than an impression does, right? Because it causes the person to actually go out of their way to click the video and see what's going on with this. Click the advertisement, see what's going on with the advertisement. So there's a higher chance of converting that person into a customer. So YouTube has policies against this retroactively. They've had this for the last 10 years. So I just need an example of YouTube applying this to somebody who is not committing fraud. And then I will get the pitchforks out.
That video made you $20. That would mean that instead of getting $1,000 deposit in your account, you get $980. Now, maybe that's not that bad, but what if you have a video that made you $10,000 at one point, and now they decide for the next 5 or 10 months, you're just not getting any money because that one video gets a strike because YouTube's AI is ridiculous. This is a serious concern if you're somebody who does YouTube as their full-time job, as their full-time business, as opposed to somebody like me who is just here to have a large recliner.
Yeah, of course. And of course that's bad. But like, and I want to structure this in a way that people can understand completely why it has to happen this way with fraud. Is that if an advertisement company gives YouTube $100 to advertise on YouTube, and then they find out that 10 of those dollars were fraudulently applied, or YouTube was not doing due diligence to make sure that their advertisements were being shown to authentic real people, then YouTube is not is not fulfilling their contract, because YouTube is saying, hey, we're going to just show your advertisements to bots. Well, how the fuck do you think Ford thinks about that? How do you think they feel about that? Coca-Cola, of course they're going to be pissed off at this because they're getting their money stolen effectively. So whenever YouTube figures out that there have been fraudulent clicks, like, what do you think happens? Like, does YouTube just eat the cost? I think that in some cases they should have to, because it's their responsibility. But if they can reclaim that money and they can recoup that money, they absolutely should, because it's fucking fraud.
With a cat on it and yell at his camera at the end of the day. This honestly is not really the biggest deal to me, because again, I have a full-time business that I run and I have a job on top of it. YouTube at the end of the day is what I consider extra. If I make money off of it, then great. If I don't make money off of it, then Mr. Clinton has to eat $2 a day cat food instead of $3. It's not. But if you're somebody whose primary form of revenue is this platform, then again, it is one of many, many reasons that it is very important to diversify your revenue stream. And it's also one of those reasons that in a video that I did that was massively unpopular, where I was suggesting that creators should really start to focus on getting their revenue from the user rather than the advertising platform, that this is going to have to be a serious shift that I think a lot of people are going to have to make. So I've done 2 videos on this. Blocking YouTube ads is piracy, and why you should never feel bad for blocking ads. YouTube system sucks, which ironically, this is funny, I actually don't have the ad blocker on right now. Which is so stupid because that's the title of the video. But anyway, I was saying why you should never feel bad for blocking ads, and blocking YouTube ads is piracy, which obviously I disagree with. I kind of have a title there.
You clickbaited everybody. Stop fucking talking around it. We did the exact same thing. And it was 3 months ago when Linus Tech Tips was addressing this on his podcast. I did it. You did it. Don't fucking play around. Don't play stupid. You have 2 cats. You cannot play stupid whenever you have 2 cats. This is obviously an intellectual. Intellectuals have cats. He clickbaited everybody. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
For, just a rawr. But in those videos, I was discussing how a viewer gave a YouTube creator something like $1 over a period of 5 or 10 years. In my opinion, that YouTuber is better off than they would be if that viewer gave them nothing but had ads turned on. And one of the reasons that I genuinely believe in this is because at the end of the day, in my opinion, YouTube is managed by a very, very borderline personality disorder, artificial intelligence, that you have no way to correct and nobody to speak to when it has issues, which again is one thing.
I do think that is a huge problem. YouTube has had this issue. Twitch has had different issues, but also sometimes the same issue. Absolutely. This is a true and real issue.
If they're just saying an old video may no longer make revenue, but now that they're saying that they can literally go back into your account and claw back the money if that ridiculous AI does something stupid and there's nobody you could talk to about it.
Wait a sec.
The money.
It says review base terms. How do we even know that this is new? Because, didn't he say that he didn't read it before? So how do we know that he didn't? How do we know this is a new edition?
If that ridiculous AI does something stupid and there's nobody you could talk to about it, that's a serious financial...
Somebody says, real question is, why the fuck is a chargeback even fucking allowed? Because it could be fraud. Do you disagree that YouTube should be able to recoup its money whenever someone defrauds them? If somebody is defrauding YouTube by programming bots to view a video or to click on click-through on CTR ads, YouTube should be 100% able to get that money back. It's not even a question.
Impact on your business if you've actually made YouTube your primary business, which thank God I never did. Yeah. And this is something that if implemented improperly, and let's face it, YouTube is still run by Susan Wojcicki, so it most likely will be implemented improperly, is going to seriously affect people that have not diversified their revenue streams that do YouTube as a business. I strongly suggest that if you are one of the people that actually has YouTube as their main job, that does YouTube as a business, do everything that you can to start moving away from the advertiser-supported model and do everything that you can do to start working with the patron-supported model. A lot of your viewers are going to say, I wouldn't pay 50 cents for this. Your content's...
I just want to show you guys something real quick. Just real quick. Just real quick. Go all the way down. Down a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's keep going down. Let's go down a bit more. Let's see here. Why ad revenue for YouTube is a dying content income source. Right here. I made this video in 2017. I know this. I have known this. Welcome to the show.
Why would I pay 50 cents for this garbage YouTube editor? Fuck, I'm just going to throw this out there. Screw those people anyway. Like, if somebody doesn't think that you're worth 50 cents, then why do you care what they think? I find so many people that make
really
YouTube content that say, I'm afraid to do that because my audience will be mad at me. But at the end of the day, you have to think about the people that you're making mad. You're making people mad that think that that the entirety of your content over the course of a year is not worth 50 cents. Why do you care about pissing people off that think that you're worthless anyway? Again, if you're like me and you already have a job and a business and you don't have to worry about this, then fine. But if you're like me and you don't have a job or a business to worry about, it might just be worthwhile to put together a general YouTube strike. I really do wonder what would happen if the largest creators on the platform said, you know what, I'm not signing this. Because again, you have to review and accept the terms to remain in the YouTube Partner Program. What would happen if the largest creators on the platform that already had some FU money already just said, you know what, we're not going to accept this? I think
it would have to be way more like website wide. Like the thing is, if you got enough people together, you could make YouTube change anything in the TOS. With enough people, you can do anything you want. But I don't really see that happening.
Actually be a really cool thing to organize. Like, what if the largest creators on the platform did videos on this and then also said, we are not accepting this agreement? It would be a really difficult thing to organize and put together because, again, at this point in time, the alternatives to YouTube are just, in my opinion...
Well, the reason why that's not going to happen also is because nobody's been getting their money charged back. Like, you bet your fucking ass if all the content creators start getting their fucking payments charged back over and over and over, then... yeah, you're going to see a fucking strike, absolutely. But nobody's getting their shit charged back. So that's why nobody's striking. It's common. I mean, really, because as far as I know, I don't think this is new at all. My expectation is that YouTube has probably had this chargeback policy for 10 plus years. It's a fraud policy.
Sincerely lacking, and I mean, let's face it, they're just bad. But it's something to think about because like, nothing's going to change if we just hit review and accept and hit yes. I don't want to click review and accept and hit yes to that. I really don't.
Okay, so click it.
Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, I think this is something that I would, and like, yes, of course it makes sense that he would be really kind of like antsy about this because of the YouTube video of his that got flagged and the fact that that didn't get resolved. And it's obvious that probably because he had the word Clinton in it and maybe there were some different tags that could have been perceived in a way that could be hostile or inciting violence. And this is something that would be discerned by a bot, like not a real person probably never made any of these decisions. A bot made all of these decisions. So yeah, I can see why he's upset about that and why he's very suspicious about this kind of stuff. But I do think that it seems very unlikely that YouTube would have not had a policy like this in effect all the time. And it makes sense that if it's being used for fraud, this would be applied. And I think this is completely fair. It's like if somebody, if you pay somebody for something and then you don't get it, well then guess what? I think you should be able to get your money back. So if YouTube is paying somebody to display ads to real people and then the person is not displaying ads to real people, well then fuck. I think YouTube should get their money back because that's what's fair. It doesn't matter to me like, oh, YouTube's a big company so it's okay to steal from them. Fuck that. That's not true. You either steal from everybody or nobody. Don't fucking act like you're Robin Hood here, okay? So I hate that shit. Either way, I don't think this is a new change. I am not convinced that it is because it says review base terms, not review all the new terms or new changes. Usually YouTube just updates the TOS. It's not like they have, it's not like, for example, like if you go and you look at, if you go to Wowhead, for example, you know what the new patch notes are. It's like, okay, these are the new patch notes. Apparently there's a Ruby Life Pools hotfix, and then also there's a Battleground hotfix that happened. YouTube does not use this They do not do hot fixes and patch notes for their TOS. They do not announce them. So I'm not convinced this is something that's new at all. And I would assume that logically it would not be. Let me go back. I'll read a few comments about this, and I want to move on and read something else. Let's see here. A lot of speculation either way. Yes, it is. And I think that this is definitely speculation either way. And what's really going to be determining whether this is authentic or not is whether you start seeing content creators get their money refunded or not. Said YouTube's able to take your future revenue, but don't you get banned for view botting? So how would that affect people who got botting? Well, I don't know. Like, what I was doing is I was constructing the only circumstance in which that I would think that it was acceptable for YouTube to reclaim the money, which is if somebody is caught view botting and automatically having ads shown to bots in order to make more money, I would think that it would be okay that YouTube could charge back that money if it's determined for that to be the case. Other than that, however, I don't think so. Yeah, let's see here. I don't understand a lot of stuff. If the fraud's a crime, why do you need policy for it? If a worker kills somebody, you can't remove them from the company without an extra policy for that. I think that a lot of times they just want to have it. They want to have it there so people can't claim that they didn't have it there if they try to sue YouTube. It's kind of like a cover your ass thing. That's why they have in like a lot of the different TOSs, people always say, oh, well, I didn't break TOS, I shouldn't get banned. These companies can ban you for whatever they want. The only thing that they can't ban you for in most cases, or like kick you out of a store for, is for like discriminatory reasons. So like they can't kick you out because you're black, or they can't kick you out because you're, I don't know, like, I was gonna say they can't kick you if you are too young. Yeah, they can kick you out, but like they can't kick out like old people because it's a store that's made for younger people, for example. Something like that. Like you can't say that all people that are over 60 can't go to Abercrombie and Fitch. Something like that. Yeah, fat. Yeah, no fat people. You have to step on a scale before you can go to McDonald's. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, something like that. If you want to annoy a YouTuber, pay for bots. I don't really know. I think that something like that could happen, but YouTube would probably be able to figure it out pretty easily. TOS is disgusting whenever you read through them. Doesn't mean they're going to be used that way. It's just a way to protect themselves. Yeah, YouTube doesn't want to do this probably unless it's like some super serious situation, because if they did, they would risk, putting everybody's trust at risk. But this is something I believed for a long time. I think that most content creators should move away from being monetized directly through ad revenue, and they should look at direct funding from fans. He was definitely right about that.